అయిపోయిందమ్మా స్ట్రీమ్ అవుతుందా? అవ్వలేదు. స్ట్రీమ్ అవుతుందా? ఓకే, తీసుకుంటా.
Okay, good morning friends. In the last class, as I said, indirect tax in the exam. So total question paper is of 8 questions. Question number 1 is compulsory. Rest of 7 questions needs to write. Rest of 7 questions needs to write. Yes, any 5. In question number 1, 1 to 6 questions. 1 to 6 questions. 1 to 6 questions from the direct tax. Rest of 9 questions is indirect tax. So in MCQs, only 6 from the direct tax, 9 are from indirect taxation. Rest of that 7 questions. Question number 2, 3, 4, 5 direct tax. Question number 6, 7, 8 is question number is 2, 3, 4, 5 from direct tax, 6, 7, 8 from indirect taxes. As I said, in question number 6, direct theory questions, the 2 from introduction of GST in India, as I already uploaded in the shikharatutorials. Yes, question number 8A, ITC mostly. 8B customs valuation already uploaded. Question number 7, A part composition registration levy, B part time and value of supply. So in the present scenario, first concentrate 9 MCQs, then yes, 6th question, AB GST introduction in India already uploaded and valuation already uploaded. 4 hours plus 2 hours, enough to get around 30 marks in the indirect taxation. Now I'm going to start the MCQs indirect taxation. Okay. First, who is empowered? Who is empowered to make laws for matters contained in list 2 of 7th schedule of Constitution? Sir, keep in mind, there are 3 lists in the Constitution. List 1, list 2, list 3. List 1, yes, central government, defense, railways. List 2, police, agriculture, yes, with state. List 3, concurrent list, education. So while you understanding the MCQs, read the connected topics also. Why? Because the same shall not be asked, but they will ask which is connected to this. The first one, state government. List 1 central government, they asked list 2, it is a state government. Okay. Power to make laws with respect to goods and services given by constitution via article. As you know, for us, article 246, constitution given a power to parliament and legislature to frame the laws. Article 246A, central and state have a power to levy taxes on intrastate supplies. Article 269A, yes, power to levy taxes on interstate supplies, central government. Article 279A, GST Council. Here, goods and services tax, yes, 246, parliament and legislature, 246A matched. Why? Because 279A is the GST Council. 269A is the interstate supplies, but out of all the matched one is 246A. We have only 246, 246A, 269A, 279A. 246, constitution given a power to, yes, parliament and legislatures to frame the acts. 246A, yes, power to levy taxes on intrastate supplies, CGST plus SGST. 269A, power to levy taxes on interstate supply. 279A, power to levy taxes on GST Council. Indirect taxes are regressive in nature. What is regressive in nature? Equal burden on all the persons from beggar to President of India. Direct tax is progressive in nature. Person who is earning more income, they need to pay, yes, much tax. But here, indirect tax is regressive in nature. Equal burden on all categories of persons in India. Okay. Which one of the following is not an example of indirect taxes? GST indirect tax, customs indirect tax, income tax is not the indirect tax. In case of indirect tax, impact of incidents fall on different persons. Every time when supply made, tax will be done. So if I purchase and I sold to some other, I will pay the tax, and the person who purchased from me also required to pay tax, but I am eligible to claim a ITC if conditions fulfilled. Levy of indirect taxation on goods services may leads to inflation. Levy and collection of central indirect tax, CBIC. What is CBIC? Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. In pre-GST regime, so what is pre-GST? Before introduction of GST. Excise duty levied by, sir, many are in a confusion, sir, all are paying central excise duty. Central, state, both are there, sir. Central, state, both are there. Even in the class also I said, for tobacco, central excise, drugs, state. Yeah. Both central and state. Many are writing a wrong answer here. In GST regime, excise duty has been levied by central government, whereas VAT levied by state government on goods. Here the central excise duty, either central or state. Cascading effect, tax on tax, double taxation. Who is empowered to make laws for the matters contained in list 1? Central government, defense, railways, as we given in our material. The items which were taxable both under central excise law and new GST even after implementation, tobacco, the product in which excise and GST both to be levied. Who is the chairman and head of GST Council meeting? Union Finance Minister. Don't write Central Finance Minister. As I said, why a union? It is a collection of only British Raj given independence, only to British India ruling states. Some states which are merged with India with the help of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. That is the reason Vallabhbhai Patel called as Statue of Unity. Union Finance Ministry is the more correct word. Even the law I said, yes, armed forces of union. The IGST 2017 extends to whole of India. At the initial, whole of India, July 1st, July 7th, Jammu and Kashmir. Now Article 370 removed. Now it is applicable to whole of India. Which of the following is the benefits of GST? Creation of unified national market, boost to Make in India initiative, yes, UNC government revenue, reduction of complaints. All are correct answers. But if all are correct, most suitable answer you need to give. Okay, let me explain. Your name Ramesh. Tell me your full name. Ramesh Naidu. Tell me your surname also. Ramesh Naidu along with surname. Yes, Ramesh Naidu, Mandapalli Sarvesh Naidu. None of the above. What is the most suitable answer? Mandapalli Ramesh Naidu. Most suitable answer. If all answers are incorrect, at least likely related answer you need to write. Which of the following taxes subsumed into GST? Central sales tax, central excise duty, VAT, all the above, sir. India has chosen, yes, dash model of GST, yes, Canadian, but GST taken from the country France. Keep in mind, GST taken from the country France. Yes, but France is not a federal structure. Dual model means central and state both have a power to levy and collect taxes. Constitutional Amendment 2016 of GST was 101. The incidence of tax on tax is called as tax cascading. What, sir? Tax cascading. UGST is applicable. Not UGST. UTGST is applicable on intrastate supply. Wait. Wrong answer. So generally on interstate supply what to be levied? Interstate supply IGST. Intra within a state CGST plus SGST. Union territory with state legislature CGST plus SGST. Without state legislature CGST plus UTGST. Okay, wait. Sold from union territory. Goods are purchased by central government. Sold from one union territory to another union territory. Take it is intra-state supply, ma. Print mistake. Even your ICA book releasing like that. Also many mistakes. We rectified it. So it is a intra-state supply. UTGST. Under which article of Constitution of India GST Council constituted? 279A. The 4 points which are very, very, very important, sir. Next, the term supply includes the supply, all forms of sale, transfer, barter, exchange, lease, license, rental or disposal for consideration in the course or furtherance of business, which means supply include sale, transfer, barter, all the above. Which of the following activities or transactions shall neither be treated as supply of goods nor a supply of service? Sale of land or building. When, sir? Wait. As I already said, if you purchase an apartment flat after completion, after getting a OC certificate, it is a negative list. Before, yes, pre-booking. Before, yes, completion, if you book it, then it is a supply. So it is negative list, sir. We to treat sale of land, sale of building after completion of building or after getting a OC certificate. Gifts not exceeding dash in a financial year by employer to employee shall not be treated as supply of goods or services. 50,000. Why it given, sir? Schedule 1. 4 points are there. Permanent transfer, disposal of capital assets in which ITC taken. Supply between related parties, distinct persons. Employee, employer is related parties, but a gift value up to 50,000. Gift value up to 50,000 by employer to the employee shall not be considered as supply. A hotel with a 3 days, 4 days, 3 nights package with a facility of breakfast. Even if you go for hotels, they are giving a complimentary breakfast. What supply it is? Composite supply. 2 or more supplies, which one is a principal supply? Hotel booking is a principal supply. So, which of the following is or the essential elements of mixed supply? First, what is a mixed supply? 2 or more supplies in which all are supplies. 2 or more supplies in which all are supplies supplied in conjunction with each other, which are not naturally bundled, supplied as a single unit. What tax rate applicable? Highest tax rate applicable. Okay. Supply made by taxable person to recipient. Yes, correct. Supply 2 or more individual supplies of goods, services, or both, or any combination which are not naturally bundled. Correct. For a single price. Correct. Then what is the correct answer? All the above. In case of import of goods, which type of GST applicable? IGST. Tell me the definition of interstate supply. LOS, POS. 2 different states, 2 different union territories, 1 state, 1 union territory. Import, export, interstate supply. So import is also a interstate supply. But valuation only done by customs. Taxation both customs as well as IGST. Even in the customs, assessable value, on assessable value, basic customs duty, on basic customs duty, social welfare surcharge, together 3 subtotal, on that IGST. So valuation done by customs, but GST also to be levied. Why? It is also a import. Import is a interstate supply. On interstate supply, what to be levied? IGST. Learn like this, don't mug up the bit. Reverse charge means the liability to pay the tax of supply of goods or services are both by recipient. In reverse charge, value pay by recipient to the supplier and tax will pay by recipient directly to the government. Which of the following can be issued by the government to exempt goods services which is leviable in exceptional cases? Special order. What order, sir? Special order. Renting of religious premises. Have you remembered? I will revise once again. Renting of religious premises. Room 1,000 or above taxable per day. Kalyana Mandapa 10,000 or above per day taxable. Yes, shops 10,000 or more per month taxable. Below that is exempted. We'll see. Renting of religious premises of religious places meant for general public owned or managed by charitable or religious trust under under 12 AA of Income Tax Act shall be exempt. Renting of rooms less than 1,000 years exempt. 1,000 or more taxable per day. Shops less than or equal to 10,000 exempted. Sir, 10,000 is taxable, sir. Less than 10,000 only exempt. Yes, halls open area less than 10,000. Once again, shops 10,000 or more per month taxable. Room 1,000 or more per day taxable. Kalyana Mandapa 10,000 or more per day taxable. Yes, less than only exempt. Yes, now it is exempted. Which is the correct answer? All the above. Next, which of the following goods the manufacturer not allowed for composition scheme? You say composition scheme, who are not eligible? Person make non-taxable supply, interstate supply. Yes, dealing with ECO, especially services, CTP and RTP, notified goods manufacturer. Notified goods are ice cream, pan masala, tobacco, aerated water, bricks, tiles, bricks, building bricks, fly ash bricks, bricks of fossil mills, tiles, earthening or roofing tiles. Now what is the correct answer, sir? All the above. The time of supply of goods where supplier is liable to pay tax under forward charge shall be, yes, time of supply. Yes, that is section 12 goods forward charge 12, 2. Now what is the answer? Invoice date, last date of invoice. Yes, date of payment, not for all the cases. So invoice date, last date of invoice, whichever is earlier. 12, 2, sir. Learn the subject, then automatically you are able to write the MCQs. Some are just mug-upping the MCQs. Now you have no chance. Those who are now at least attending, you have no chance. At least you need to mug up. The transaction value for computation of value of supply rejected. Sir, what is the transaction value? 15.1. When 15.1 applicable? Supplier and recipient, yes, not related. Price is the sole consideration. If supplier and recipient is related or price is not the sole consideration, 15.1 not applicable, 15.4 applicable. 15.1 is the transaction value, na? So when it is not applicable, when it is rejected, supplier and recipient related, price is the sole consideration. In case of goods disposed of by way of free samples, no ITC. Sir, schedule 1. Permanent transfer, disposal of business assets in which ITC taken. Yes, it is a supply, but section 17.5 it is blocked. Why? Goods or service, goods which are lost, disposed, yes, are given by way of, written off by way of gift or samples. Why ITC not allowed? 17.5 blocked. If goods are received in installments, it is to be claimed at last installment, 16.2 section also. Persons who are liable to register under 22-24, what is 22? Registration based on turnover. 24, compulsory registration irrespective of turnover. Shall apply for registration in state, union, territory if he is so liable within 30 days. You say section 25 said application for registration. For CTP and RTP, application for registration made 5 days before commencement of business. Others 30 days from the date liable for registration. Tax invoice, in case of goods, triplicate. In case of service, duplicate. As I said, if you purchase any shoe from online, yes, you are going to get 2 invoices. But really to be prepared in 3. Original for recipient, yes, inside the box. Yes, second duplicate outside the box they are pasting. Yes, 3 triplicate for supplier. Services only 2. Original for recipient, duplicate for supplier. Annual return is the summary of all of above. All returns. But annual return is GSTR 9. It is a summary of all returns. Payment of tax required to be filed before or at the time of filing the return. Aggregate turnover for opting, yes, compounding, which means composition scheme. Given wrong. Yeah, we'll explain. Person whose aggregate turnover does not exceed 1.5 crores in the normal states, 75 lakhs in the special category states, other than Jammu Kashmir, Assam, Himachal Pradesh can opt for composition scheme. The calculation of aggregate turnover to decide minimum turnover based on all India basis. All India basis. State-wise only for composition for payment of tax. Certificate of registration will be issued in which form? GST R6. As I said, there are 6 forms. REG 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 application for registration, 2 acknowledgement, 6 certificate of registration. If it is all done proper. 3 notice for additional details. 4 submission of additional details. 5 if they satisfy they will give 6. If they not satisfy they will give 5. Overall covered. Dealers who are not eligible for composition scheme, interstate supplies. Who are not eligible for composition scheme once again? Yes, non-taxable supply, interstate supply, ECO with services, CTP, NRTP, and at last Notified goods are notified goods manufacturer. Various taxes are subsumed into GST to make one nation, one market for consumers. Out of the following, which taxes are subsumed into GST? Basic customs duty, taxes on lottery, taxes on advertisements. Only 2, 3. Why? Because customs duty not subsumed into GST. It is running now. Which of the following is not considered as goods? 10 paisa coin having a sale value of 100, shares of unlisted company. Lottery case. Tell me the definition of goods. Every kind of movable property other than money and securities. Money. Legal enforceable. We can take even 10 paisa also, but they're having a sales value they given. Most best answer is shares. Securities is in GST. Securities is excluded. Actionable claims included. In Sale of Goods Act, actionable claims excluded, securities included. So for the most best answer, if tobacco leaves procured from agriculturist by a registered person, the applicability of RCM, you say an agriculturist reverse charge is applicable as this is a notified service. Sir, 9(3) goods, 9 cashew nuts, bitty wrapper leaves, tobacco leaves, silk yarn, raw cotton by an agriculturist to registered person. BD wrapper leaves, only inside is the tobacco, outside BD. Tobacco leaves also are given separately. Yes. But there is a mistake, it is a notified goods. When confused. There is a mistake. Notified goods, that is. For a registered person, threshold limit of turnover in the preceding financial opting composition scheme shall not exceed 1.5 crores. If nothing mentioned, normal states are. If they mentioned specially special, then 75. That too other than Jammu Kashmir, Assam, Himachal Pradesh. A supplies that consist of 2 or more services which would be classified as the provision that describe the variables are subject to higher taxation. Mixed supply. In composite supply, principal supply tax rate applicable. In mixed supply, highest tax. GST stands for goods and service tax, and the tax system that covers wide range of goods, companies, imports also. Import also, why sir? Interstate supply na. So, goods, companies and imports. Here companies, I think services also. Which of the following is the exclusion from computation of aggregate turnover? You say aggregate turnover includes all taxable supplies, exempt supplies, export supplies, interstate supplies under same PAN, excludes GST, inward supply in which recipient required to pay tax under reverse charge, interest discount. Yes, sir. Sir, they asked aggregate turnover, not the state turnover. Now, value of inward supplies in which recipient required to pay tax under reverse charge. In case of manufacturer, other than ice cream, pan, masala, tobacco means he is not a notified goods manufacturer, their intention. From whom concessional rate applicable under customs duty, the rate is manufacturer the tax rate 0.5%, CGST 0.5%, SGST total 1%, no IGST, composition scheme person not allowed to make any interstate supply. This is 1%. How it is? CGST 0.5% plus SGST 0.5%, total 1%. Whether a registered person under composition scheme can claim? Yes, ITC. No. Persons who register under composition scheme not allowed to claim ITC, not allowed to collect output tax from recipient, but they can required to pay the tax. What is the time of supply in case of goods, in case of forward charge? 12 to invoice date, last date of invoice, whichever is earlier. Again, second time they are asking. What is the time of supply of vouchers? Yes, 12/4, 13/4. Yes, identifiable, date of issue of voucher. Not identifiable, date of redemption of voucher. Which of the following is not included in the value of supply? GST. Why? What is the purpose of value of supply? On what amount the GST levied? If already GST is there, you need to exclude it. Even rule number 35 said, value inclusive of GST. Yes, we did a calculation also. 2,50,000 inclusive of GST 18%. 100 divided by 118 into 2,50,000. The value of supply includes, what is value of supply? Includes 15(2). 15(2). Yes, there are 5 clauses. A, taxes other than GST. B, any payment made by recipient to the third party on behalf of supplier. C, incidental expenses and any payment made for anything done before the time of supply. D, interest, late fee, penalty for delay in payment of consideration. E, subsidies directly linked to the price other than government subsidies. This is 15(2). A. This is 15(2). D. This is 15(2). E. Now what is the answer? All. Value of supply includes 15(2). That is the reason I asked to learn the sections. When can a transaction value can be rejected for value of supply? 15(1), when not applicable, when supplier and recipient not, yes, when supplier and recipient related, price is not a sole consideration. 15(1) not applicable. When applicable, supplier and recipient not related, price is the sole consideration. They are giving repeatedly. What deductions are allowed from transaction value? 15(3), sir. 2 clauses, 15(3)A, 15(3)B, but total are discount only. 15(3)A before or at the time of supply discount, 15(3)B after the supply discount, subject to conditions. 15(3)A, what is the condition? Entered in the invoice. 15(3)B, what are the conditions? 3, entered in the invoice, entered in the agreement, proportionate ITC to be reversed. Rule 30, what is rule 30? Valuation based on cost. 110% of cost of production of manufacture in case of goods, 110% of cost of acquisition of goods in case of trader, 110% of cost of provision of service in case of service provider. When rule number 30 applicable? 27, 28, 29. Rules not applicable, then 30 applicable. 110%. Cost of production of manufacture for manufacturer, cost of acquisition of goods for trader, cost of provision of services, it is for service provider. Whether the goods are taken for sale or approval basis, invoice to be issued 31/7, 6 months from the date of removal on or before supply, 6 months from the date of removal, whichever is earlier, 31/7. Which of the following is not a supply under CGST Act 2017? Gifts free of cost to agent, yes it is a supply. Import of, yes it is a supply. Machinery, yes it is a supply. Employer to employee, employer to employee. Schedule 1 is supply between related parties and distinct persons. Employer and employee both are related parties. Gifts value up to 50,000 by employer to employee shall not be considered as supply. Casual taxable person, person occasionally doing business in the state where there is no fixed place of establishment in the state. Mr. X of Delhi participating high-tech furniture expo in Haryana where no fixed place of business. During the expo, the said product sold to the people attending and intend to purchase. In the scenario, Mr. X obtained the following registration. CTP. In the state, if you don't have any fixed place of business, then registration is CTP. Exempt supply includes, in the aggregate turnover I said, yes, all taxable supplies liable to pay tax. Exempt supply includes non-taxable supply, nil rated supply, wholly exempt supply. Yes, sir. Non-taxable supply, wholly exempt supply, nil rated, zero rated exports, idiot. Nil rated. Then what is the correct answer? Nil rate, non-taxable, wholly exempt. All the above is the correct answer. Which of the following service is notified by government for ECO? That is 9.5. ECO notified. Yes, accommodation services. Yes, cab services, housekeeping, interior decoration services, food delivery services, accommodation. Next, housekeeping, transport, all the above. What is the answer, sir? All the above. A hotel owner provide accommodation in Haryana through a e-commerce operator Cool Trips. The hotel is not liable for registration. Who is liable to pay tax? In 9.5, if accommodation provided through registered hotel, unregistered hotel, ECO. Yes or no, sir? You are remembering. Remember the total scenario of the subject. Don't mug up. State the taxability of satellite land services to both international and domestic, which is wholly. Yes, earlier it is exempted, now taxable. Why? Because yes, government is selling the satellite signals to Airtel, Jio for that. Now it is taxable, sir. Earlier it is exempt. Zero rated are exports. Exports of goods as well as services. And keep in mind, what is an SEZ? Special Economic Zone. Yes, it is a separate island within territory of India. Goods from DTA, domestic tariff area, to XEZ considered as export. From SEZ to DTA considered as import. Here export means export of goods and services. Yes, SEZ to, yes, supply of goods to a SEZ is an export. By SEZ is an import, sir. It is import. As SEZ, it is India. SEZ. SEZ is balance India called as DTA. Goods from DTA to SEZ considered as export. Yes, SEZ to DTA considered as import. Here, done by SEZ means it is a import. It is a export. What is the correct answer? Both 1 and 2. A registered taxable person eligible to claim refund in respect of export of goods and services. Okay, payment of tax, refund. Excess amount in the electronic credit ledger cannot be refunded. It can be refunded in 2 cases. Inverted tax rate, zero rated supplies. Inverted tax rate, zero rated supply. Exports again are of 2 types. With the payment of tax, without the payment of tax. With the payment of tax, you need to pay the tax and do the exports. After that, you are going to get a refund. Without the payment of tax, you need to submit bond plus LUT. Under bond, under payment of IGST, get as a refund. Both. Yes or no? If place of supply in territorial waters, what is considered as place of supply? It is not there for you. It is a final topic. But anyways, they asked, I will explain. Sir, this is India. The definition which includes territorial waters. Yes, if we are doing any business in territorial waters or something, nearest baseline. Yes, in Bay of Bengal, yes, near to Chennai, we are doing, yes, some activities. Then place of supply is nearest baseline. That is Tamil Nadu. It's final. For us only 10, 11, 12, 13 is there. This is final, they asked. What is the time of supply of service if invoice issued within 30 days from the date of provision of service? What is the time of supply of service if invoice issued within 30 days? First, it is section 13(2). 13(2)(a), invoice issued within 30 days or banks 45 days. That is 13(2)(a). What is 13(2)(a) said? Invoice date, last date, invoice date, date of payment, whichever is earlier, not within 30 days, date of completion of service, date of payment, whichever is not earlier. C, if one or two, not applicable. So 13(2)(a), what 13(2)(a) said? Invoice date, date of payment, whichever is earlier. Yes or no? What is the time of supply of service in case of reverse charge mechanism? Yes, once again, time of supply 12, goods 13, services 1, applicability 2, forward charge 3, reverse charge 4, voucher 5, residual cases 6, addition in value, which means supply of services reverse charge is 13(3). What 13(3) said? What 13(3) said? Date of payment 61st day of invoice, whichever is earlier. 61 days immediately following 60 days called as 61 only, whichever is. Learn the pro forma. Value of services rendered is 1 lakh. Date of issue of invoice is 5th October. Advance received 25,000 on 20th September. Balance amount received on what is the time of supply of service? Yes, first, what it is? Services 13(2). Yes, when invoice issued? 5th October. When services completed? They given? Then 2 invoices you need to consider. 25,000, 75,000. If nothing given, it is a forward charge. 13(2). 13(2). Yes or no, sir? 13(2). Invoice date, date of payment, whichever is earlier. Yes, 5th October, 5th October, 20th September. 20th September is the correct answer. Yes, 75,000. Yes, invoice date, date of payment is 7th October, 5th October, 7th October, 5th October. 13(2)(a). Whether credit on input should be availed based on receipt of goods or receipt of documents or receipt of goods, both. The supply of goods to SEZ considered as exports. Exports are 0 rated, sir. DTA from SEZ, DTA to SEZ considered as exports. Exports are 0 rated. On supply of OIDR services by a person located in taxable territory to non-taxable on-rain recipient, who is liable to pay GST? Supplier only. Compulsory registration, section 24. If location of supplier is in territorial waters, then what will be the location of supplier? Actual location. But in case of place of supply, what I said? Nearest baseline. Coastal nearest point. Final, but why you are asking? Exclusive economic zone is 200 nautical miles. Which of the following is a taxable event for import goods? The goods crosses the customs barrier, India definition. Entered enough, 200 nautical miles entered. Beyond 200 nautical miles, it is a high seas. Basic customs duty, yes, on imported goods, first schedule. Exported goods, second schedule, I given. For the purpose of computing IGST on imported goods, the following shall not be included in the value of computation. GST compensation, cess. Why? Taxes other than GST should not be included. Should be included. This GST na. GST means IGST, CGST, SGST, UTGST compensation cess. If insurance amount not available for assessable value 1.125%. Yes, where the transportation charges not available. Transportation means freight. And freights are of two types. Air, yes, vessel, sea route, air route. Sea route, ascertainable, actual basis. Not ascertainable, 20% of CFOB. Air route, ascertainable, actual basis, 20% of CFOB, whichever is lower. Yes, not ascertainable, 20% of CFOB. Perfect answer. If nothing given, you need to take it as a sea route or air route. Sea route. Transportation charges incurred by importer for transportation goods from factory to the exporter, yes, to the port of exportation shall be included in the assessable value. Now you say, what is an FOB? Cost of the mission at the factory of exporting country. Transportation charges from, yes, factory to port. Yes, tarvata, after that, loading charges. This is from factory of exporter to the port of exportation, included in the assessable value. Why? FOB is also FOB, add something. Customs FOB, add freight and insurance. CIF is equal to assessable value. So FOB included in assessable value. Yes, it is correct. As per section 2, subsection 31, person in charge, we discussed for a ship master, for a flight pilot or commander in charge, for a vehicle driver. Yes, for a railways guard, TC, I said a story also. All the above. Conductor, guard. While in the class, I seated in the guard room one day. Goods which are same in all the respects, including physical quantity, identical goods. Mostly same, identical. Lightly same, similar. Buying commission not included in the assessable value. Agent commission includable, but buying commission not includable. Is the statement is correct? No. Buy is included. They given included. That is not includable. So the statement is not correct. Any article which is imported into India, yes, in addition to the IGST, shall rate not exceeding 40%. Highest tax rate of IGST is how much, sir? IGST 40%. Chance, max chance. Even there for this attempt 5, 12, 18, 28. Now it has been changed. Yes, standard rate 18%. Yes, merit rate 5%. Demerit rate, sin good, luxury good 40%. But even also I said, so highest rate permissible in the act is 40, imposing is 28 for this attempt, but for next attempt 40. You need to take 40. An article which is imported into India is liable to duty equal to excise duty for the time leviable on like article produced and manufactured in India. This duty which called as actually anti-dumping duty is not there, then considered additional duty. Maximum rate of additional duty of 4%. Which of the following conditions are satisfied? The central government may provide enhancement of import duty. Import duty first schedule. The central government satisfied the circumstances exist, both 1 or 2. 1 and 2, sorry. Central government may impose the safeguard duty when, sir, an article imported into India in increased developing country, developed country, underdeveloping country. Yes, such increased importation caused or threat to serious injury to domestic industry. Even safeguard duty 35%, no social welfare surcharge. Yes, provisional safeguard duty 200 days. If it is fixed, 4 years, minimum max 10 years. Both 1 and 2. The total period of safeguard duty. Now they said max 10 years, minimum 4 years, max 10 years. Very important, many times asked. Appeal under section 9 be accompanied with a fees of 15. That level of questions you can't able to write. As per section 14 of Customs Act 1962, transaction value shall include price, amount payable, yes, for cost including, sir, FOB, CFOB addition, sir, commission, engineering, design, development charges, plans, sketches outside India, royalties, license fees, commission and brokerage. Okay. Some are asking the PDF. It is available in the Shikara free resources. You can download the same after the class completion. As per section 14 of Customs Act 1962, transaction value shall also included in the addition of price, any amount paid for cost and services including. This also the same. For imported goods, conversion in value shall be done. You say exchange rate. One exchange rate, CBIC. Two exchange rates, bill of entry, CBIC rate. For the purpose of customs valuation, rate of exchange, CBIC. Rate of duty, bill of entry, entry inwards, whichever is later that date to be considered. Subsection 2 of section 14 provides that the board may fix for any class of imported goods or exported goods in regarding to trend of value of such or like goods notification in the official gazette. If it is satisfied, it is tariff value, customs tariff value only. Similar goods, not like in all the respects related to that, produced in the country, produced in same, yes, all the above. Loading, unloading charges, loading, unloading, handling charges with at the place of importation, 1%, if nothing mentioned, 1%. Where the goods are sent back as such to a foreign country, owing to which the following reasons considered as re-exportation. This is also not there for you, but they asked, it is a final range topic, we'll discuss. Duty drawback also not there for us. Duty drawback not there for us. If the goods sent back as such, it's a old syllabus, to foreign country owing to certain reasons, goods not conforming specific circumstances, goods imported into India, trade restriction, temporarily, all the above. Section 74, goods capable for being identified which can be imported back. Sir, listen, one topic, but not there for us. They are asking duty drawback. I will explain in fast. For our syllabus, it is not there. Listen, 5 minutes is enough for me. Duty drawback. Drawback. There are two sections. Section 74, section 75. Section 74, goods which are imported into India have been exported. What is section 74? Goods imported into India has been exported. Which means, okay, I imported a laptop from China. I paid the import duty. But later I exported back the same to, yes, Japan. Unnecessary I paid the import duty. Na? So I need to get my refund. 75. Goods imported into India used in the manufacture of exporting goods. We imported a motherboard, we imported a battery that we used in the manufacture of laptop. Later we exported the laptop. In the 74, we imported the goods as it is we exported. In the 75, we imported the goods used in the manufacture of a product and the final product has been exported. First 74, without use. 98% of duty you can claim as a drawback. With use, there are two cases: business purpose, personal purpose. Business purpose, personal purpose. Sir, business purpose up to 3 months, 3 months to 6 months, 6 months to 9 months, 9 months to 12 months, 12 months to 15 months, 15 months to 18 months above. 95%, 85%, 75%, 70%, 65%, 60% nil. Sir, export done within 2 years, sir. Within 2 years. Goods which are imported into India have been exported within 2 years. Without use, 98%. With use, business purpose, for 3 months, 10% to be decreased. Later, 5% to be decreased. Personal purpose, generally 2 years. With the CBIC permission, extra 2 years. So total 4 years. Listen. 1, 2, 3, 4 years. First year, second, third, fourth. Now these are the quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every year, first year per quarter 4% decrease, second year 3%, third year 2.5%, fourth year 2%, which means 96%, 92%, 88%, 86%, 84%, then 81%, 78%, 75%, 72%, 69.5%, like that. Every year, first year 4%, second year 3%, third year 2.5%, fourth year 2%. For some articles, duty drawback not allowed. Listen, wearing apparel, used clothes not allowed, tea-chest not allowed, exposed cinematographic film, a movie which has been taken and has been broadcasted. This is the topic, not there for us. It is a final topic. But in old syllabus it is there. They are selecting the bits from, they are maintaining a book. From that they are taking. It is not there our syllabus, not there in our inter syllabus. But anyway, when goods are capable for easily identifiable, which have been imported into India, upon which duty has been paid on importation, without use, how much duty drawback? 98%. As per notification, no drawback of imported goods allowed in respect of following it: wearing apparel, tea-chest, exposed cinematographic film. All the boys the answer. Safeguard duty, anti-dumping duty, countervailing duties as drawback in regarding to section 75. I said, not there duty drawback. GST was introduced into India from 1st January 2017. As a result of constitutional amendment of GST, a separate list has been introduced. What it is? For us, 246, 246A, 269A, 279A. Out of that only one is there na. What is 246A? Taxes on interstate supplies. Inter or intra? Intra. SGST is applicable where goods sold within the state. GST, goods and service tax based on consumption based, destination based. Supply based, sorry. Correct answer is supply based, wrong answer. Under GST law, yes, SAC, Service Accounting Code, important. Service Accounting Code. On supply of OIDR services by a person located in taxable territory to non-taxable online recipient, supplier, section 24. Zero rated supplies, again they give an export of goods and services, goods from DTA to SEZ. Highest rate applicable now 28, but act permissible 40. Any goods other than capital goods used or intended to be used by a supplier in the course or furtherance of business inputs. Two or more individual supply of goods and services combination conjunction with each other. Yes, if they are naturally bundled, composite, not naturally bundled, mixed. Liability to pay tax by recipient of supply of goods services called as recipient reverse charge. Input includes capital goods. No, input goods is different. Input is different. Input capital goods are different. No. To claim ITC on capital goods, is it mandatory to capitalize capital goods in the books of accounts? Yes. But 16.3 said no ITC depreciation claimed along with tax component. Under reverse charge mechanism, the time of supply as per CG shall be for goods. What is the reverse charge? 12.3. Date of receipt of goods, date of payment, 31st day of invoice, immediately after 30th day, whichever is earlier. What is the 12.3? If recipient fails to pay to the supplier of goods, services or both other than the supplier on which tax payable on reverse charge basis, the amount towards value of supply with the tax payable thereof within the period 180 days. If not, the recipient required to pay tax along with value within 180 days from the date of invoice. If not, an amount equivalent to ITC along with 18% interest added to output tax liability in respect of unpaid amount. Supply in case of export or supply from domestic tariff area to SEZ, export zero rated. GSTIN, goods service tax identification number, 15 digit registration number ma. Mr. X done the following transaction: sale of goods 98,000, commission foreign currency 15,000, sale of securities. What will be the GST? Commission to be added, buying commission not to be added, agent commission added, 98 lakhs 50,000. Customs, this is even GST also to be payable on what? Assessable value only. Yes, assessable value, basic custom duty. Basic custom duty, social welfare surcharge. Subtotal, GST. Mr. K of India imported certain taxable services from R of USA. Invoice issued by Mr. R on the same date. If the payment made, determine the time of supply of services. Recipient required to pay tax means services, section 13, yes, applicability 13.1, 13.2 forward charge, 13.3 reverse charge. What 13.3 said? Date of payment, 61st day of invoice. 61st day of invoice, whichever is earlier, we calculate. Date of payment is 5th October. Yes or no? Invoice date is? Yes, 5/9/25. Calculate. 9 September. September total how many days? 30 days. Less 5, 25. Then we need October. How many days? 31. Now this is September. This is October. How many days we required again? 5 days. September, October, November. So November 5. Whichever is earlier. And wrong answer. October 5. October. Mr. K of India imported certain taxable services Wrong answer, ma. Our answer is correct. Date of payment is 61st day of invoice is 5th November. Whichever is earlier. 5th October. They given? Okay. Wrong answer. Convert into 5th October. That's the wrong answer. If in a MCQs, icmai wrong answer, don't write the wrong answer. You need to rectify. Determine the value of supply of Surya. Surya charged 60,000 for a supplier of television to Kanak. He has received a subsidy directly linked to the price by charitable trust. 15 2E. Subsidies directly linked to the price other than government subsidies to be added. Transaction value is 16 plus 15 2E 18,000. That is the amount available in the electronic credit ledger cannot be utilized for the payment of. Sir, credit ledger can be utilized only for payment of tax. Cash ledger can be utilized for payment of all. Yes, sir. Which means interest, penalty, fees, credit ledger cannot be utilized. Date of receipt of payment means what? Yes, in the time of supply. Date of receipt of payment. What it is? Date of payment, ma. Are. Yes, in the forward charge, what is the date of payment? Date in which payment entered in the books of supplier, date in which payment credited in the bank account of supplier, whichever is earlier. Yes, supplier books, payment received. Supplier bank, payment credited, whichever is earlier. That one is the answer, na. If nothing mentioned, take forward charge. Some are in a confusion, forward or reverse. If nothing mentioned, forward only. Customs duty in India levied under the following legislations: Customs Act and Customs Tariff Act, both. Safeguard duty imposed shall be in force for a period, how many years? 4 minimum, 10 maximum, as I said, important. Basic customs duty on exported, second schedule, imported, first schedule. Customs duty not, here many are in a confusion, they are given a very nice MCQ. Customs duty not leviable in certain cases except they asked. Not pilfered, not leviable. Relinquishment, leaving the ownership, not remission of duty destroyed, but they asked except. So that is the answer, export of goods. Up to these three are correct answers, except export of goods is correct. Nice one. Value of imported goods shall be the transaction value. Who said? Rule number 3. Customs, rule number 1, applicability. Rule number 2, definitions. Rule number 3, transaction value. Imported goods, valuation. So only one mistake. Good MCQs they asked. But revise these MCQs once again. But along with what I explained, they are asking either as it is or connected topics to this. So already I said 9 MCQs from 7 to 15. 6th question directly theory already uploaded in the CHIKHARAtutorials. Yes, valuation 8B. 8A, if there is a possibility, see the ITC. So you can easily get, there 14, you can get 10, 10, 20. Here at least 10, 30. Comedy can get 30 in GST. Even you start preparation now also you can get 30. Okay, all the best. Bye.